Welcome back to the Sibling Group Chat. I'm Owen.
And I'm Cassidy.
And today we are back at it with the Odyssey review, episode 38, episode Back to School.
Yes. So this is the 43rd episode of Adventures in Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
It originally aired on September 10th, 1988. It's part of Album 3, Heroes. This is our third episode we've reviewed of Album 3, but this is the first time we're really getting into Album 3. We've now finished Album 2, so we're truly in Album 3 now.
And just in case you haven't yet, go back last week on YouTube, we released our tier list for this, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So go check out our tier list of Album 2.
If you haven't done so.
If you haven't done so, that'll be on YouTube.
Yep. So in this episode, when middle school starts in Odyssey, a girl named Leslie has to adjust to changes in friends, and friends who change. And our themes are friendship and making new friends.
I'm really shocked exaggeration isn't part of the themes because the whole first half of the episode is just Leslie exaggerating.
I am too, but I have a theory on this that I can't get to until we're done.
Okay.
So, we'll circle back to that.
We'll come back to that.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, just the whole first 2 minutes I didn't have a single note because it was just Leslie walking around being bored at wit's end until she finally ended up at the counter with Mr. Whitaker. I don't know if there's really anything to say about that.
Not really. I do also have to say, I don't know if it's just I've never listened to Album 3 so closely to Album 2. I'm sure I have. But I never realized how it's really continuing that theme of Album 2 with
It's true, because they're getting right back into
and now
school.
they're right back into school. And I think part of that is because at this time they were releasing a new episode every week, and Odyssey was staying truer to real time.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that, but that makes, that's
because
true.
last week Whit was like, it's the last weekend before summer, and now she's like, we've had our first week of school.
Uh-huh.
So I've never noticed that before, but I really like it. And I can understand why they don't do that anymore, because it's an established fact that Odyssey time isn't real time.
Yeah, well, and if they hadn't slowed it down, they would have had to, change who their main
Characters would
character
have to
was.
pass, yes.
because Mr. Whitaker would no longer be a normal age if Odyssey time was normal time, because he would be, what did we determine, at the youngest he would be in his late 90s or something?
I think so, at his youngest.
At the youngest he could possibly be.
And that's just figuring out Mr. Whitaker's age.
Yeah.
Connie and Eugene have to be in their
50s.
40s probably, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's a detail I'd never noticed before, and I really kind of like it.
It's kind of fun, yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll have to see if we notice at a certain point where it stops being that way.
Well, I think when they were having more regular holiday episodes, you could tell, how it was staying in real time. But we'll notice that more, I think, with air dates and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Leslie's in a bad mood, and she gets to the counter and is talking to Mr. Whitaker, and basically just starts to tell him about how awful her first week of school was. But surely he would know about it. But then he's like, well, it's been a while since I've been in school, so why don't you tell me?
Yeah, and I think we do kind of need to at least say who she was talking to. She was talking to this girl, Anne. It sounded like she was talking about... Yeah, she was talking about her summer. But then she leaves Anne because she sees this girl, Cindy, comes in. We kind of figure out from her conversation with Cindy, but also with Mr. Whitaker, that Cindy has been her best friend most of her life, but they haven't seen each other all summer.
Right.
But Cindy kind of brushes her off because she's going to hang out with a different friend, and Leslie doesn't like that very much. Mm-hmm. And also, Leslie is the same voice as Donna.
I noticed that, and I was going to ask, do you think that they decided to use same voice as Donna because they still haven't had a second Barkley episode yet? Even the one that was originally going to be a second Barkley episode ended up not being a second Barkley episode.
I think so.
So there's still no established reason why the Barkleys would be coming back.
Correct. But also, I've never thought about this before, and it's not super consistent with her character, but it could be. This could have been Donna.
Yeah, it could have
been.
She
can't, especially in that first episode, she was kind of stuck up and bratty.
Yeah, and Leslie is stuck up and bratty.
Yeah, so this could have been Donna. I'm assuming they never had any intention of it being Donna because it's not, and it's her voice. Yeah. But, yeah, something worth noting. But yeah, then she ends up heading back to the counter, and Mr. Whitaker's like, you drank this milkshake glass dry.
You make him the best, Mr. Whitaker.
Something about that exchange just sticks in my head. I realized more of this episode is in my head than I thought it was as we were re-listening.
Yeah, there are parts. Personally, for me, I don't really like this episode, but there's nothing really wrong with it. But
I don't think I've ever really thought about my opinion of the episode before, but I now realize it's not one of my favorites.
No.
Other than to quote, it's a little fun.
There's a couple of fun quotes in there, which we'll get to. Yeah. But so she basically just starts telling Mr. Whitaker how her week went in her eyes.
In her exaggerated way.
Yeah.
If we haven't established it already, Leslie exaggerates every story she tells. And is known for it.
Yeah, it would seem. Because first she's telling Mr. Whitaker that she's been having trouble waking up in the morning, which makes her mom upset. And then you kind of go into the flashback of like the story happening.
Mm-hmm. And as we're going to read this, keep in mind we're telling it as Leslie told it.
Yeah.
So we're going to say it just as exaggerated as she
Her mom comes in, and her mom, it's clear her mom is exaggerated how angry she is.
Yeah.
And then he's telling her, like, you're going to be late for school.
And I'm not writing you a note for your teacher.
Yeah.
And then she like pulls her out of bed and she's like, but I don't want to wear this dress.
Yeah, she's been
having it fine a week ago.
Yeah. And she makes her wear the ripped dress to school, which I do think, from what I understand, that was actually true. That she did have to still wear because she was...
She ripped it because she was being stubborn. Yeah.
Yeah. But she was exaggerating how mean her mom was about it.
Yeah. And so she makes her wear this dress that she ripped to school with a sweater over it. And she says she almost wished she had missed the bus because the bus driver was Crazy Eddie. And before we go into Crazy Eddie, I just have to say, she says her mom told her she was going to be late for school. But if she was really going to be late for school, she would have already missed the bus.
Probably.
Because the bus doesn't keep running for the kids who are late for school. I'm pretty sure.
It's not like the Disney tram where it comes around every so often.
All day. And maybe Crazy Eddie just keeps going all day. But I don't think he's supposed
Crazy Eddie is this... I'm not sure how much, like, if they actually do call him that or if she was just making up that they call him that. But...
I think it's probably true they call him that, but some of what
probably not as crazy as she says. Yeah. But anyway... she says he's really crazy, and that's why they call him that, obviously. And he, like, drives crazy, and he has a parachute, she says.
Is this the first point when Whit breaks back in and is like, are you really telling me the truth?
Something like that.
Because he does periodically draw
because she says something, and then we get a little clip of, she said he got pulled over once, and there's, like, a clip of officers asking Crazy Eddie, he's like, why were you going 55 in a school?
Okay, pal, do you want to explain why you're doing 65 in a 30-mile-an-hour speed zone?
I was slowing down for the turn.
And then he, like, does an evil, creepy laugh. And I'm pretty sure it's Walker Edmondson.
Walker Edmondson?
Because it sounded a little bit like Mr. Fenwick.
Oh, could be.
I can't think of who else at the time it would have been if it's a regular voice actor.
I don't know. I was slowing down for the turn is fun, though.
Because think Mr. Fenwick and Bart Rathbone.
Yeah. Could make that.
So I think it might be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then she says when she got there, she couldn't like find her class or whatever.
It's a brand new big school. Yeah. But also, we don't know for sure, but she might be starting middle school.
Yeah, she could be.
So it might be new to her, even if it wasn't a new school.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Worker's like, oh, that must be nice. Like, not if you're lost like I was.
Everything is so like serious to Leslie.
Like, he's being like, oh, that's not that bad, or surely that's not how it happened. And she's like, yes, that's how it seemed to me.
Please do not interrupt.
Yeah.
But she couldn't find her class, and she ran into this kind of creepy sounding, in her mind, like, was it just a hall monitor, or was it the principal
I'm not
or
sure,
something?
But it's at this point, and I think it's only in the hallway, the creepy dream music played.
Oh.
And I was like, that's a little weird. And it doesn't play the whole time, it's only in the hallway.
Where's your hall pass?
Well,
I'm lost. Sir, you didn't say... Sir.
And I think that's Walker Edmondson, too.
It could be.
We must get you to class, mustn't we?
I can't imagine. I imagine that she made up the fact that her teacher's name is apparently Mr. Gut Wrench.
She'd have to.
There's no way that's the actual name. But he gets taken to class because, well, the hall monitor guy says, like, you'll like Mr. Gut Wrench.
Yeah, and more creepy laughing, still with creepy dream music behind.
And then she gets to the class, and I love Mr. Gut Wrench is funny because he's voiced by Will Smith.
Will Ryan.
Well, yeah, not Will Smith. Wrong Will. I'm gonna blame that. I'm gonna blame that on the fact that we were just talking about live-action Disney made movies before we started this recording.
That's true. And you were thinking about Will Ryan and Hal Smith.
That's what it was. Yep.
But
it's Will Ryan voices Mr. Gut Wrench, but it's kind of a little bit closer to his like Harlow Doyle, Officer Harley voice, but like a angry version of that voice. So it's really funny.
It is really
like it's there, like asks why they're late or whatever, and then tells her to take off the sweater that she was wearing over her ripped dress, and she says she doesn't want to because she ripped her dress.
You tore your dress! And then all the kids start laughing.
It's like, oh, I didn't give you permission to laugh. You have a 10,000 page or word essay to write.
I want to hear the scribbling up your pencils.
But then after
at that point, Mr. Work was like, Leslie, you're making this up. It's like, no, honest.
Uh-huh.
And he also keeps speaking her name. Like, he calls her Lisa.
And Laura.
Laura. And, yeah.
Yeah. But then after a little bit, I don't remember exactly what happened, but then he's like, stop that infernal scribbling!
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
I've never been able to understand what he said.
He tells them to stop doing what he had just told them to start doing.
Okay, that makes sense. Because in my head, because I couldn't figure out what he said, I thought because after that he says, I want you to tell me what you did with your summer. I thought it was he had already said that, but he said it so fast nobody could understand what he had said.
Yeah, then he tells them he's going to have them go in order, like, say what they did over the summer. And he has Leslie go first because she ripped her dress. Like, that was the reason why she had to go first.
Because you came late and you have a torn dress.
Oh, yeah.
You go first, Laura.
And then she says something about, like, I'm assuming because you said Laura, you meant Leslie, or you meant Lisa, which is Leslie. I don't know. She says something about... But anyway.
I know what I mean.
Then she stands up and says, we didn't really do anything except for hang out. What?
Well, before the long what, he says how long their summer was in like days and minutes and seconds. It's like, all you think she was hang out. Sometimes we went out for ice cream.
What?
And then the best line comes right after that is, just for that, young lady, your homework tonight is to write the words, I will make better use of my time. 220,000
Oh, was it?
times.
I thought it was 22,000.
And don't even think about cheating, because I will count
each and every one.
Now sit down and don't start whimpering.
And then he's like, one of you better have won the Nobel Peace Prize this summer. I think this is where Mr. Whittaker says, Leslie, you're making this up. Because he's like, no, honest, I don't even know what the Nobel Peace Prize is.
Yeah. Mr. Gutwrench is by far the best part of this episode.
I think so, too.
Just as funniness.
Yeah.
What? And this was the first time I realized it was Will Ryan, and that just makes it funnier.
Oh, it's Will Smith now.
Will Smith's one entrance into Adventures in Odyssey.
No, yeah, Will Ryan. And he does a great job. You really, the more you listen to Odyssey, the more you can appreciate how good of a voice actor some of these people were.
Yeah, for real. So I think that's the last point. Like, because finally at this point, Wit is, like done.
Enough.
Yeah.
You're exaggerating, because you know that's not what school is really like, and he thinks that there's a reason why her first week seemed so bad to her.
It's a different reason. It's not her teacher's fault. It's not her mom's fault.
It's not the bus driver's fault.
Yeah, something else is bothering her.
So he asks what actually made her have a bad week. And she says basically because she lost all of her friends.
He's like, and again, he's calling her out on these other. She's like, lost all your friends.
He's like, well, maybe not all of them, but mainly it's just Cindy that's bothering her.
Who's been her best friend.
Mm-hmm. And they had apparently a long time ago promised that they would be best friends forever.
Yeah. I think it's funny that she's like, we were best friends for years and years before summer started. Like, I don't know why it was this summer in particular that had messed up.
Well, they said at some point in the episode, it's like she went on vacation, and then Cindy had gone on vacation, so they just hadn't really been around as much.
Yeah, which I relate to this. My friends and I saw each other a lot less in the summer because you're all busy doing different fun things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's jealous that Leslie is now hanging out with this other girl, Krista.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this further, but Leslie cannot reconcile the fact that you can have other friends while also having a best friend.
Right.
This does not work in Leslie's head.
No. And this is where Leslie gets really annoying in my mind. The exaggeration gets a little bit funny. The second half of the episode, Leslie's just annoying to me until the very end when she actually learns a little bit. But
at least she does learn her lesson from all this.
Yeah. But so she says she's gonna go talk to Leslie like right then Cindy, because Cindy broke her promise and she's not being the best friend that she said she would be. And Mr. Whittaker's like, you might want to hold off on
She's like, nope, I'm gonna do it.
And then this was my least favorite. Like Leslie snap out of it. Like she goes to Krista's house to talk to Leslie or to talk to Cindy, and she just like flips out. It's like, you're a horrible friend. I'm like,
you're a double crosser.
What person's gonna be like, oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Let's go hang out now.
Yeah, for real. Well, because then Krista would be like, oh, what about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so yeah, she confronts Cindy, and Cindy's basically like, why can't I have other friends? And then Leslie storms off with, if you don't want to be my best friend, then don't bother being my friend at all.
Yeah.
And Krista's like, what's her problem? And Cindy's
like immature, I guess.
She's just immature, I guess. Which, rightly
it's true,
so.
Yeah, she is immature.
Yeah.
I mean, she's acting like a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then basically Leslie goes back home and just mopes for a while. And then the other friend, I think you said she was in the beginning of the episode. I hadn't picked up on that, but Anne comes over, and apparently Anne is who she had spent most of the summer hanging out with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And apparently it must have been a lot because that's all she did over the summer was hang out.
It's true. And she also had a paper route, we found out earlier.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what she was exaggerating at the beginning, is how big the dog on her, one of the dogs at the house on her paper route was.
Yeah.
But Leslie can only think of Cindy and how Cindy broke the promise. So when Anne comes over, Anne's just asking if she wants to hang out, do something, and Leslie's being a pill.
Yeah, and so Anne is trying to be nice. She's like, well, do you want to talk about it? Like, what's wrong? Like, we didn't see each other much during the first week of school. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, I'm just really bummed about something. And she says something about, like, I lost my best friend this week. And this is where I feel so bad for Anne.
Yeah, because Anne's like, I'm right here.
And part of this, I think, is on Anne. Like, Anne was reading more into the friendship than was there.
Probably.
But Leslie is also so cruel here. Like, and
like,
she doesn't even really...
Not you.
Yeah, and I don't think she realizes she's doing it because she's so stuck in her own head. She's like, not you. I mean, my best friend, Cindy. And Anne's like, oh. And then she just, like, leaves. And then you can hear the mom from outside, like questioning Anne as she runs out. Mm-hmm. And then Leslie continues to mope and be mean until her mom comes up to confront her on the fact that Anne just left the house crying. And I think Cindy didn't really realize what she had, like, how mean her words had been to Anne until her mom comes and tells her Anne left crying.
Mm-hmm. And then her mom kind of tells her about how it's okay to have more than friends. Like, as you grow up, you change, your friends change. And it doesn't mean you won't necessarily still be friends with them, but you might not be friends to the same extent you were at another time,
And it's okay to have multiple friends.
Yeah.
Like,
you are allowed to have more than one friend.
Leslie was kind of the opinion you could only have one friend. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised she even hung out with Anne at all over the summer. Yeah.
And her mom even tells her about a best friend she had that she isn't even friends with anymore, as an example. And it's not to say, like, you shouldn't want to keep friends, but there are going to be times when you don't.
You just grow out of your friendships.
Yeah.
You change as people. Because I think she points out to Leslie that Leslie felt like only Cindy had changed. Like, how dare she? But she points out, like, no, you've changed too. Like, both of you are changing and growing, and so maybe you're just not going to be as close of friends as you were before.
Right. Yeah.
This is one of the few times so far we've had a parent be the voice of reason and not Mr. Whittaker.
It's not bad.
No, I like it. I think it's really well done here.
Yeah. I would say if you were going to have a complaint about Odyssey, it could be that Mr. Whittaker parents the entire town.
Yeah, some people
times.
could have that issue.
I'm not saying I've ever had the issue that Mr. Whittaker is teaching, but, like, you could, like, if you were going to have that would be a somewhat valid, like, I think the parents need to be a little more active here.
Yeah. And Mr. Whittaker did try.
Yeah.
But her mom finally got through to her.
Right.
Yeah, and Leslie really does, like, start to feel bad. She decides to call Anne and apologize and invite her to come back over.
And at the end, back at wit's end, well, first, Leslie is exaggerating some story, I assume from, like, PE class or something, because it's about a softball game.
Yeah, I never really thought about it.
She's exaggerating that someone hit the ball a mile to Mr. Whittaker. Mr. Whittaker's like, a mile?
A whole mile.
She's like, well, that's how it seemed to me. And then Cindy comes and talks to her and asks if she wants to hang out. And first Leslie's like, I thought we didn't hang out anymore. And Cindy's like,
Krista?
Yeah. Cindy's like, well, I thought maybe just, we could. Like, and at first Leslie's like, well, I was going to do homework with Anne tonight. And then Cindy was a little, like, disappointed. And she's like, but there's no reason we can't all do homework together.
Yeah.
So they are going to do homework. And then what's funny is to end the episode, Leslie goes back to talk to Mr. Whittaker, says something about, like, Mr. Whittaker says something about how their friendship...
I think that she changes it to 2 miles.
Yeah, and then she changes her story to the ball was hit 2 miles. And Mr. Whittaker's like, oh, 2 miles now? Or that's how it seemed to you.
Yeah. And so Mr. Whittaker laughing, which lots of episodes end with Mr. Whittaker laughing.
Yeah. It has a good ending. Overall, I just don't like the episode. Leslie is just too bratty of a kid for most of the episode. Her exaggeration is a little bit funny, but I'm just not a fan.
Do you think if she had more episodes and was developed more, you might, like,
maybe.
I'm not saying like her better, because I don't think she's made to be overly likable.
Yeah. I was just going to... Chris's outro is just talking about, like, a time for everything and relates to the episode, and that, like, your friendships will not always be the same. There's a time for some friendships, and some of them will last, and some of them won't, just based on because you change, and there's a time for that, too.
Yeah. And also, both Chris and Leslie's mom bring up the fact that Jesus is always your friend, even though your other friends will come and go.
Probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah. Well, even though it's true, it did feel slightly thrown in
a little bit.
Both times.
It's kind of interesting to notice what episodes they, like, work it in really well, or when it just seems like
Yeah.
There's the lesson.
The lesson of friends come and go was working really well. Yeah. But I felt like, and Jesus will always be your friend, was a little pushed.
Yeah. I feel like, in my opinion, there should be a little more talk about her exaggeration. Okay,
so here is why I don't think there is, because I agree. But our next episode is a lost episode called It Sure Seems Like It to Me. So I'm thinking that this episode might also be about Leslie and address her exaggeration.
We'll have to see.
Because, and then maybe they decided they didn't need 2 Leslie episodes, and so then they removed one. But that's my theory. Yeah, next episode is the lost episode. It sure seems like it to me. And considering Leslie said that so many times in this last episode, how can it not be about Leslie?
Right. Yeah. But that's what the whole time I was just like, it's just a little out of hand. Kind of like the episode of The Boy Who Cried Destructo when no one believed Lawrence anymore because he's always in his own imagination world. Like, his imagination is great, but he needs to have boundaries so that he doesn't become unbelievable in the real world.
Yeah.
And like how your exaggeration is fine, it can be funny, but at some point you need to actually be able to tell what actually happened.
Yeah, I would agree. I had that same thought as I was going along. I was like, why isn't there any... I was like, there's no calling her out for her exaggeration, really. I mean, well, it kind of does, but that's clearly not the lesson of the episode.
No, well, and he almost calls her out just so he can get to the root of the problem, not actually because of the exaggeration.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll have to see next week.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Anyway, I guess that'll do it for this one.
Yep. That's
yeah.
It, yeah.
Thank you for watching and or listening. Subscribe wherever you get our podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.